Hi, I'm Jeff Waite, and I'm thrilled to announce that you can now trade fractional shares in your self-directed Questrade account. Stocks and ETFs can get pricey, with some companies valued at several $100s or even $1,000 per share. This is where fractional shares come in. With fractional shares, you're not limited by share price. Instead, you can buy a percentage of a share to invest exactly what you want. But before we get started, it's important to mention this video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Fractional shares are useful for securities with a very high share price. For example, if a company's shares are selling for $500 each, but you only have $100 to invest, you can just buy a fifth of a share. Fractional shares can help you diversify your portfolio. For example, let's say you have $1,000 you want to invest evenly across 4 companies, but one of them trades at $700 per share. With whole shares, you need to either invest most of your money in the $700 per share company or not invest in them at all and allocate across the other 3 companies. But with fractional shares, you can buy exactly as much as you want, letting you keep things nice and balanced. In most ways, fractional shares work the exact same as full shares. Holders of fractional shares still benefit from growth and receive dividends. For example, if you have a half of a share of a stock that pays a $2 quarterly dividend, then you'll receive a $1 quarterly dividend. If that stock gains $10 in value, then your half share gains $5. The only exception is with voting rights. Shareholder voting rights are only allocated by full shares. However, if you later buy enough fractions to make a whole share, then it automatically becomes a full share with all its benefits. Trading fractional shares is easy and free. Just log into your Questrade account and go to buy shares as usual. You can buy fractional shares either by dollar value or by number of shares. To buy a fractional share with a dollar value, just select market order and enter what you want to spend. To buy fractional shares by number of shares, just select market order and enter the quantity as a decimal point, like 0.5 for half a share. When the trade executes, using either method, your fractional shares are good to go. There are a couple of things you should keep in mind when you're dealing with fractional shares. First, as we mentioned earlier, fractional shares aren't granted voting rights. This isn't a big deal for most investors, but it's important to know. Also, remember that fractional shares can't be transferred in kind from account to account, even if both accounts have fractional shares. To transfer, you need to either buy enough to make them whole and transfer in kind, or sell them and transfer their value as cash. Also, remember that fractional shares can't be transferred in kind from brokerage to brokerage. Even if you're transferring shares to Questrade from another institution that has fractional shares, you'll probably need to either buy enough to make them whole or sell them and transfer their value as cash. That's all there is to it. Fractional shares are a great way to access expensive stocks and ETFs with no extra fees. Thanks for watching.